I'm going to review some hiking pillows. And I'd like to know which one you think that I should be taking with me on my hike of the Appalachian Trail in 2024. Today I'm going to be reviewing a few pillows that I've collected over about 20 years of hiking. We've got the first one that I purchased, which was this one by Daimor, and it's called just a travel pillow by Daimor. Then we'll have a look at this fleece stuff sack by Cocoon. We'll look at another stuff sack, and this is one by Therm-a-rest. And then we'll look at a couple of blow-up pillows. First of all, the cheap as they come, Trekology Aluft pillow number 2. Then we'll look at the EXPED Air pillow, and this is a medium. And then we'll look at an EXPED Air pillow, and this is the ultralight version. So first of all, we'll look at the Daimor travel pillow. This one comes in a stuff sack, and it comprises of a nylon covered pillow. It's synthetic filling, it's quite thin, and so to increase the thickness of that, it has an inflatable bladder in the centre, which you blow up with a normal air valve there. Just one puff of air does it. That pushes back in, and then it's got some buttons that you just pop together there. This one is so old that I can't find any information about it on the internet. Feels like a bit of a sausage in the middle of it there. I have used this one. It was reasonably comfortable, but we'll compare comfort in a short while. The second pillow is the Cocoon fleece stuff sack. So this one's nylon on the outside to protect it, and when you use it, you turn it inside out, and it has a nice fleece surface to it. I believe that the weight of this one is about 150 grams, and you can still buy these even though this one is in excess of 20 years old. It's lasted the test of time. With this one you would generally just stuff something like a puffy, which I'll stuff inside of it. Here, and you can put all your clothes in there if you wanted. Cinch it down, and there you have a down pillow with a fleece lining. Third bag we'll look at is another stuff sack style bag. This one's by ThermaRest. I'll put the exact name just here. And again, it's a similar size. It's reversible there with a nylon outside and a nice fleecy feel inside. And again, you would put your puffy or some other garments inside, which we'll do now. Cinch it up, and there we are. Sorry about the dog. There we have a nice soft pillow. So my dog was just barking then to let me know that the postman was there, and he was delivering my Gossamer gear, the 2 that I'll be trying and doing a review later on, probably next year, comparing that to my Big Agnes and my Hillyberg tents. The Aluft pillow number 2 by Trekology comes in its own stuff sack, and when you take it out, you just have the pillow here. It's got a valve, a two-way valve or a one-way valve, depending on whether you're letting it down or blowing it up. So you change it so it's a one-way valve to blow it up. Three puffs of air, click it shut, and then your pillow is ready to go. So this one is, I'm just leaning over at my computer again, it measures in at 40 by 30 by 10 centimetres, and it weighs in at 110 grams. So it's actually a little bit lighter than the first pillow I looked at, but it's certainly 1.5 times the weight of the stuff sack pillow. To let this one down, you take off the top, press the button, and then squeeze out all the air. Generally, once the air's all squeezed out, I put the cap back on, stop the air getting back in it again, because it will bring some air back in, and then fold it down, roll it up and put it back inside its stuff sack. Again, not too difficult to pack away. And there we have it, the Trekology Aluft Pillow 2. When I ordered the EXPED, I accidentally didn't order the ultralight version, but when it came I decided to keep it and just order the ultralight. So this one is the EXPED M Air Pillow, and this one weighs 75 grams and has a size of 38 by 27 by 11 centimetres. Again, just like the Trekology, it comes in a stuff sack. When you take it out, it has a valve. Again, this one has it hasn't got a little click button. It's just got a one-way valve that you blow up. It's less air than in the Trekology, just two puffs did it. It's a little bit smaller, but does feel a little bit softer. So to pack it away, you just undo the valve, and then this little bit that's attached there, you just poke that into the valve. Can't do it while I'm holding it up, which lets the air out. Again, once I've squeezed all the air out of it, I tend to take that out, close the cap off, and to prevent any air getting back in, fold the pillow down, and put it back inside its stuff sack. The EXPED M Air Pillow retails at around £25, and again, when I purchased the EXPED Ultralight, that was no dearer at all. It was exactly the same price, I think. So again, the EXPED Ultralight M comes in its own stuff sack. You can tell the material's a lot thinner than the non-ultralight version, but it's exactly the same design. We'll compare sizes in a while, if you get what I mean. It's about 2 puffs of air. The valve isn't working quite as good on that one. There you go. I think perhaps I needed to inflate it a little bit more. And it closes shut. So this one just weighs in at, sorry you can't see, at 54 grams, which is pretty light, just 54 grams. Again, to pack it down, take off the cap, push in the little thing that you poke in the valve, squeeze out the air, pop the cap back in, and then fold it down and put it back in its stuff sack if you want to keep it in the stuff sack. And don't drop it on the floor, and there you go. That's the EXPED M Ultralight. Well, I'm a side sleeper, so let's see how the Daimor feels. It's really like having a hard sausage inside this packet. I'm not sure that blowing it up makes it any more comfortable. The material's quite soft, but it is, with it blown up, quite wobbly. My head wants to just move backwards and forwards. I think if I slept on my back, if I was able to, and didn't snore, again, it's pretty terrible. Your head sort of lifts back like that. Maybe that's not a bad thing for me, but I think realistically this one's very uncomfortable, and I wouldn't recommend it. It's heavy, and I think it's about ready for the bin. The Cocoon fleece stuff sack is quite a generous size. I've only put one thing in there, and that's my puffy, but it's really soft, and with my puffy in there, feels like a real pillow. I think if you sleep on your side or on your back, it's quite comfortable, although you may want to put in it a little bit more than just one puffy because it's a large size. Perhaps buying the smaller size would be better. They weigh less, they cost less, and you don't have to put quite so much in them. The Thermalite stuff sack pillow is just about the right size for my puffy to go in there. It's quite comfortable laying on my side. Feels like a real pillow. Let's try on the back. And I think if you slept on your back, that'd be quite comfortable, though you may want to put in a little bit more than just your puffy again. The Trekology pillow, quite nice. I'm sleeping there. It doesn't feel quite like a real pillow. It is soft on the face. I definitely could sleep on it. It doesn't wobble as much as my ancient old pillow, but I have a feeling it might move around. It does have these sort of attachments for some straps that come with it. Although I do think if you're a back sleeper, then it's probably quite comfortable. The EXPED M actually, I don't think it feels as comfortable as the Trekology version. It's got this big bump here. It doesn't seem to want to cushion my head. It makes your head sort of tilt that way, whereas the Trekology pillow, when it goes your head on it, has a bit more of a bumper up the top end there. So actually that feels a bit better than the EXPED, I think. For softness, I think they're both equivalent. It's quite soft. Could I sleep on it? Yeah, I could sleep on this. Is it going to move during the night when it's just on top of my mat? Possibly. On my back, quite comfortable on your back, possibly more comfortable than the EXPED. But not so comfortable on your side. The EXPED Ultralight is quite similar to the EXPED M, the standard one. Not quite as bulky, this bit at the front here. And it's very comfortable laying on your back. It's a little bit slippery on the mat, but it doesn't seem quite as slippery as the other one. But maybe that's my imagination. They both seem pretty much similar in size, in every dimension. But actually, this one, as well as being lighter, actually feels a little bit softer. So I think if I was going to choose between those two, it would be the ultralight version. So now we've looked at all of the pillows individually. I think a side-by-side comparison is called for now. There's two main types, isn't there, that we've looked at. We've got the stuff sack pillows and the air pillows. I think firstly this one, well, I think that's just going to go. It's heavy, it's not that comfortable, and it doesn't pack down very small. So that one's pretty useless now. It just shows you how things have changed over 20 odd years. We've got the two stuff sack pillows. This one by ThermaRest, which is lighter and a little bit smaller. But if I'm being honest, probably not quite as comfortable as the Cocoon one. Price difference, very little. This one's about £5 more than the Cocoon. So it depends. If you want a little bit more comfort and want a stuff sack that you can fit a bit more in, then the Cocoon version is probably best for you, if you don't mind that little bit extra weight. I mean, we only are talking 50 or 60 grams difference. Whereas if you want a lighter version, something a little bit smaller, then the ThermaRest is probably better. for you. So I think for me the ThermaRest just has the edge. It's comfortable enough to sleep on. I don't need to put anything more than my down jacket in there, so it doesn't get too lumpy, and while it's not as soft on the outside, it wins for the weight. So then we really have the air pillows to weigh up. The two versions of the EXPED are pretty much exactly the same size there, and same shape. Obviously the ultralight one is lighter than the not ultralight one, the standard. It's probably not as robust, but when I lay on each one of these, I feel perhaps the EXPED is a little bit more comfortable. But it could just be down to the inflation that I put into them. Price comparison, nothing in it. So this one's, the ultralight, has got a win for the weight to price and comfort ratio over this one. So I think that one's out of it. It's just really between the Trekology and the EXPED there. So we've got an ultralight version and a heavier version, one which is more comfortable, the Trekology I would say for me, and the EXPED isn't quite as comfortable but is a lot lighter. So what I'd like to know is which one you think I should take on my hike. Should I take the EXPED ultralight, the Trekology Aluft 2 pillow, or should I just use this stuff sack and I can keep my my puffy in it when I'm not sleeping? It'll protect my puffy when I'm not using it. There you go. So I'll leave it to you to decide. Let me know in the comments below. I'll also leave links for all of these items that you can go and explore. I may or may not receive a small amount of money for each purchase, but it won't cost you any more. It'll just be helping go towards my channel. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. In my next video I'm going to be reviewing some down jackets. If you care to watch that one, hit the notification button so you don't miss it.